Friends from the press, good afternoon. Welcome to the regular press conference of the Foreign Ministry. Now I release a piece of news. At the invitation of Premier Li Qiang of the State Council, Robert Fico, Prime Minister of Slovak Republic, will pay an official visit to China from October 31st to November 5th. Now I will take your questions. To follow up on Prime Minister of Slovakia Robert Fico's official visit to China, could you share with us the program and China's expectation of the visit? How does China view its current relations with Slovakia? China welcomes Prime Minister Robert Fico's official visit to China. During the visit, President Xi Jinping will meet with him, and Premier Li Qiang and Chairman Zhao Leji will have talks and meet with him respectively. The two sides will have an in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and issues of mutual interest. Slovakia was among the first countries to recognize New China, and the two countries enjoy profound traditional friendship. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Bilateral relations have grown with robust momentum and fruitful exchanges and cooperation in various fields. Through Prime Minister Fico's visit, China stands ready to work with Slovakia to deepen the traditional friendship and political mutual trust, expand exchanges and cooperation in various fields, promote high-quality Belt and Road cooperation and cooperation between China and Central Eastern European countries, and elevate the bilateral relations to a higher level. Next one.
From Reuters.
路透社，日本的选举，请问你有什么评论？你是否认为该选举会改变日本的安全政策？而中方一直在过去批评其政策。
We noted the election results. This is Japan's internal affair. China does not comment on that. A sustained, sound, and steady China-Japan relationship serves the fundamental interests of the two peoples. We hope that Japan will work with China in the same direction, act on the principles and common understandings reached in the four political documents between China and Japan, comprehensively advance a strategic relationship of mutual benefit, and strive to build a constructive and stable China-Japan relationship fit for the new era. Next one, please. CCTV.
Uzbekistan held elections of the legislative chamber of the Oliy Majlis on October 27. Does China have any comment on this? China congratulates Uzbekistan on the smooth elections of the legislative chamber of the Oliy Majlis. At the invitation of Uzbekistan's Central Election Commission, China sent a group to Uzbekistan to observe the elections. China believes that the elections are democratic, open, and transparent, and demonstrate the political openness and inclusiveness of the country. China highly commends that and sincerely wishes the Uzbek people greater achievements in national development. As a friendly neighbor and all-weather comprehensive strategic partner for a new era, China attaches great importance to its relations with Uzbekistan and stands ready to work with Uzbekistan under the guidance of the important common understandings between the two presidents, step up mutual support and strategic coordination, deepen mutually beneficial cooperation on all fronts, and achieve high-quality development of the bilateral relations. Next question, please.
发言人你好，合同塔斯社记者提问。
TASS, I have two questions. First, according to foreign media, next year, the U.S. military will begin to receive new mobile satellite jammers. They are primarily designed to counter Russia and China. How does the Chinese Foreign Ministry comment on the U.S. space defense strategy? If such a policy posed a real threat to China's space exploration, what position would China take? My second question, on October 26th, the IDF announced strikes against military sites in Iran escalating the conflict and endangering civilians, Israel continues to expand the scope of its attacks, causing a large number of casualties and greatly reducing the well-being of people in the region. What is China's comment on the recent developments in the Middle East?
再重复一遍你的第二个。
Could you please repeat your second question? My second question is, the IDF announced military sites in Iran escalating the conflict and endangering civilians. Israel continues to expand the scope of its attacks, causing great casualties and greatly reducing the well-being of the people in the region. What's China's comment on the developments in the Middle East?
On your first question, China stays committed to the peaceful use of outer space and opposes arms race in outer space or weaponizing outer space. China has no intention to compete with other countries in the space and doesn't seek the so-called advantages in the space. The US has openly characterized outer space as a battlefield, kept developing outer space military, built military alliance in outer space, and turned outer space into a battlefield which severely threatens the common security and development rights and interests of other countries. China once again urges the US to stop spreading irresponsible remarks and expanding military build-up in outer space and make due contribution to uphold the lasting peace and security in outer space. On your second question, China opposes undermining the sovereignty and sovereign security of other countries or the abuse of force. The tensions in the Middle East are running high. Relevant parties need to refrain from further increasing the risks of over-security in the region. The recent incidents once again demonstrate how urgent the end of the fighting is. The international community, especially major countries with influence, should earnestly play a constructive role and create conditions necessary for the de-escalation of the regional tensions. Next one, please. The 11th China Central Asia Cooperation Forum was held from October 25th to 28th in Incheon, Ningxia. Shen Yueyue, Vice Chairperson of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and President of the Good Neighborliness, Friendship and Cooperation Commission of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, attended the opening ceremony and delivered a keynote speech. Can you tell us more about the forum? From October 25th to 28th, the 11th China Central Asia Cooperation Forum was held in Incheon, Ningxia. This forum is co-hosted by the Good Neighborliness, Friendship and Cooperation Commission of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the People's Government of Ningxia Hui Autonomous Region under the theme of promoting green development and building a common home. Shen Yueyue, Vice Chairperson of the National Committee of the CPPCC and President of the GNFCC of the SCO, attended the opening ceremony and delivered a keynote speech. Kyrgyz Deputy Prime Minister, Tajik Deputy Prime Minister, and the First Deputy Speaker of Legislative Chamber of the Parliament of the Republic of Uzbekistan, among other 300 people, attended the forum, also including SCO Secretary General Zhang Ming, Executive Director of the Secretariat of the China Central Asia Cooperation Mechanism, and representatives from the government, localities, business community, friendly groups, and media of China and 5 Central Asian countries and diplomatic envoys in China. China put forward the 5-point proposal on moving forward the mutually beneficial cooperation of the two sides. First, continuing to give each other stronger support and foster community with a shared future for both sides. Second, promoting green development under the Belt and Road Initiative, bolstering the material foundation for the relations between China and 5 Central Asian countries. Third, improving China's Central Asian mechanism, building and creating a flagship platform for cooperation for the 6 countries. Fourth, boosting subnational cooperation, continue to add new dimensions to China's Central Asia cooperation. Fifth, practicing true multilateralism and creating sound external environment for common development. Participants express congratulations on the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, speak highly of the great achievements China has made in its development under the leadership of President Xi Jinping. They believe that the 3rd plenary session of the 20th CPCCC provides a strong driving force for advancing Chinese modernization. They also express readiness to work with the Chinese side to follow through on the common understandings of our heads of state, continually deepen Belt and Road cooperation, expand cooperation in such areas as economy and trade, investment, connectivity, energy and green economy, and advance the building of a community with a shared future for China and each of the Central Asian countries and the China Central Asian community with a shared future. The event includes 4 parallel sub-forums on industrial green development, modern agriculture and technological innovation, sister city cooperation, cultural exchanges, and regional cooperation. A slew of activities are held during the forum, including a photo exhibition of achievements in China Central Asian cooperation and tree planting activity in commemoration of friendship between the youth of China and Central Asian countries. It also witnessed the issuance of Yunchuan Initiative and the signing of several cooperation documents. Next one, please.
Indonesia Foreign
安塔拉，印尼外长苏吉约诺表示，印尼致力于加入金砖国家，将其视为维护发展中国家和全球南方国家利益的战略平台。中方对此有何回应
？As an important platform for emerging markets and developing countries to enhance solidarity and cooperation and uphold common interests, the BRICS cooperation mechanism has become a positive and stable force for good in international affairs. Indonesia is an important major developing country and emerging economy and has actively involved itself in BRICS plus cooperation in recent years. BRICS is an open and inclusive mechanism. We welcome more like-minded partners, including Indonesia, to join the BRICS family. Next one, please. Global Times. The Wall Street Journal recently reported that Western countries believe that China is conducting espionage activities on an unprecedented scale to undermine rival states and bolster the country's economy, and that Western spy agencies are unable to contain Beijing's activity. Does China have any response to that? I don't know what factual basis this report has. For some time, the very few Western media outlets have been peddling disinformation on the so-called espionage activities by China, but they presented no facts or evidence except for some assumptions and speculations. Yet, I noted that recently the US CIA posted on social media instructions in Chinese on how to contact it online in an attempt to lure Chinese personnel to be their informant. This seriously infringes on China's national interest. China strongly protests this. We will resolutely crack down on infiltration and sabotage activities by anti-China forces outside China and defend national sovereignty, security, and development interests. The US CIA has long been using all kinds of despicable methods to steal other countries' secrets, interfere in their internal affairs, and commit subversion. The US has never stopped its espionage activities against China. It has also long been conducting massive surveillance and secret theft against its allies. On the one hand, the US blatantly carries out spying activities worldwide, yet on the other, makes unwarranted accusation of spying threat against other countries. This is a clear misrepresentation of the facts. The US needs to immediately correct wrongdoing, stop its tricks of framing others, and Stop creating more chaos and turbulence in the world. Next question, please. Any other one?
Shenzhen TV from October 23rd to 25th, China and ASEAN's rotating chair Laos jointly held in Shenzhen the regional workshop on implementing the Biological Weapons Convention and promoting biosafety and biosecurity in Southeast Asia. Can you share more details? This is the first workshop jointly held by China and ASEAN countries on implementing the BWC and promoting biosecurity. The workshop delivered positive outcomes. China and ASEAN's rotating chair Laos jointly issued the co-chair's summary, which includes consensus in 4 aspects. First, promote exchanges and mutual learning and advance the modernization of countries' governance system and governance capacity on biosecurity. Second, build political consensus, jointly address biosecurity risks and bring the benefit of biotech to mankind. Third, improve global governance, strengthen the implementation of the BWC, and support relevant international and regional organizations in providing more public goods. Fourth, explore follow-up actions and deepen regional coordination and cooperation through hosting workshops regularly or other means. China attaches great importance to global governance on biosafety and biosecurity. We have included capacity building in biosafety and biosecurity governance in the Global Security Initiative concept paper, listing it as a priority in international cooperation. Exchanges and cooperation between China and Southeast Asian countries will provide new impetus for the China-ASEAN Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and contribute to global governance on biosafety and biosecurity. Next question, please.
NBC. This may be related to the Global Times question, but specifically the report that the U.S. government investigating what's claimed to be actors affiliated with the People's Republic of China, which hack into the communications network of the U.S., targeting specifically the telephones of the camp of Donald Trump and the camp of Kamala Harris. Can you comment on that? Thank you.
I'm not familiar with what you mentioned, but I noted the relevant reports, and the reports mentioned a Typhoon, the Salt Typhoon organization. Let me point out that the U.S. seems to be enthusiastic about creating various types of typhoons, but on the Volt Typhoon incident previously hyped up by the U.S., China's cybersecurity institutions issued several reports to review the facts, which provided solid evidence proving that Volt Typhoon is in fact an international ransomware group, and that the U.S. created false narratives about the origin tracing of cyber attacks to frame up China. The reports made it clear who is the biggest threat to global cybersecurity. China urges the U.S. to stop irresponsible moves to blame the victim, stop cyber attacks globally, and stop using cybersecurity issues to vilify China.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any more questions?
好，那今天的记者会。
Then that concludes today's press conference. Thank you for coming.